Well, today we're down here in Bateman's Bay. We're just leaving Bateman's Bay. We stayed at a local hotel, and we're on our way now. It's early in the morning. We're on our way to Mogo, which was, probably everybody knows, it was quite devastated by the bushfires back in late December and clearly in New Year's Eve and beyond. And in Mogo, we're going to go see a small business owner. So Yellow Brick Road has decided to give some money away. We're not going to put it through any of the well-known registered charities. We're actually going to give it to some people direct. So with Channel 9, The Current Affair, we found a couple of people down this area who, like everybody, well-deserved money. And we're going to go to this, right now in Mogo, we're going to go to this business owner who's been in the area for 40 years. He's an art dealer. He actually has a art dealership behind a church. The church burnt down, his house burnt down. Most of their inventory, their art, their pottery has also disappeared as a result of the fires. We're going to go visit them. We're going to try and see what we can do in terms of helping them get back up and going and try and make their business start up again. And we're also going to give them a bit of cash, help them raise some money. They've got a GoFundMe page. They've been trying to raise money.
It was a Google Earth shot of Mogo, and it showed nothing here.
Yeah,
It was all gone.
yeah.
Standing tall for more than 120 years, this church on the hill was once the heart of Mogo.
It was a building that belonged to everyone in the town, really.
That was until 1980, when artist Peter and Vanessa Williams bought the building and opened the Mogo Pottery Gallery.
I had hundreds and 1,000 pots sitting there to sell this summer.
But on New Year's Eve, when fire hit, the church was reduced to rubble.
I find it harder each time to come back because it looks more desperate.
The couple also lost their home, another historic church they'd lovingly restored.
We just saved up slowly to perfect
Yeah.
it, and we had it just about right.
And down it went.
At first, Peter and Vanessa considered walking away, but now they want to rebuild their business, not just for themselves, but for their community.
When you're emotionally fragile, when someone's kind to you like that, you just crack up every time.
I want people who maybe in some places haven't been affected by fire or flood or drought,
Be aware.
be aware,
Be
and
ready.
also what are the sort of things you've got to be thinking about? What are the things that you didn't do, for example, now that you would have done,
Yes.
which you wish you would have done, for
Yes.
example, or what did you do that worked well, what did you do that
Yes.
didn't work well?
Well, we didn't do it very well. We didn't do it very well at all. We got the phone call at 5:30, 6 in the morning, saying we've just got to get out, and we panicked. That was our initial thing. I walked outside and I could feel the radiant heat. It was about 38, 40 degrees here, and the fire was still 5 kilometres away, but it was approaching in a red ball.
Right.
And the sky, a whole orb at the sky was just red ball, and we knew it was serious.
So straight upstairs, wake the babies, wake the daughter and son-in-law, and pack the car to go back to Queensland because they'd been here for Christmas, New Year, and they were staying for another 2 weeks, school holidays and things. And the little ones, you know, in their car with their sleepy eyes, wondering what was going on. But that was a good thing. That took about 20 minutes.
So how
And
important
then-
is it, can I just ask you, how important is it at that point for you to think, do you think about your business at all at that point, or is it just get the hell out of here?
No, we think about the business,
we thought-
definitely.
What thought went through your mind?
Our hope was that the business would survive, and we were willing to sacrifice the house.
Yes.
Right.
And we thought that may happen. And so we put all our valuables into the business, into the...
So you went down and you put it...
All our records,
Yep.
our glaze
Our
formulas.
best paintings.
Glaze formulas are so important.
All your
for
recipes.
All the
Yep.
recipes, they're
Yep.
gone. We have to try and remember them now.
Well, that's a very interesting thing. So in terms of, if you had your chance again,
Yes.
and you knew this was going to
Yes.
happen,
We would have all our valuables
In the car.
in the car
With us.
or in one spot.
Yep.
We had them spread around,
Right.
which wasn't good.
because I often talk about playing defensively. So when you're in business, there's a whole lot of things you've got to do, but one thing you've got to do is be defensive. What I mean by that is, the thing that you build up, and you both build up, your intellectual property, right? Which is all your recipes and all your systems and processes, all the stuff that you've developed over all these years. That's extraordinarily valuable.
Yes.
Sure is.
And I always say, like, would you have considered maybe taking a copy of everything and putting it off-site somewhere, as well as having one on-site?
It's funny because I did do that a couple of years ago. I took a copy of everything and I had one in the house and one in the pottery.
Right,
We had them, but we didn't have them off.
off
I
premises.
think
Off premises.
off premises is a great idea.
Yes,
now.
Yeah.
I do too.
That was our mistake.
Yes.
And you can photocopy things pretty easily today, or put it on a memory stick, you know,
Yeah,
just,
I know.
and you can card all your records
Finally,
around with you.
that's
And like,
really the biggest advice.
because for me, I mean, I've been in business 40 years too. For me, the most important thing that I possess, is in my mind the things that I've experienced and I've learned from in terms of running my businesses.
Yes.
Which is why I actually went about, I built this thing called a playbook, which is why I went about actually recording my playbook from my head into this 10 chapters, right? I did it on purpose because I thought I needed to put in writing and on video for forever everything that I've ever experienced in business. And now I'm talking to two people who have actually experienced disaster, where everything you've experienced in your businesses is now just in your head. It's not,
Yes.
and you have to rewrite it.
Yes.
I
I
did.
know.
But I feel really confident about sitting down and making some beautiful pots again and decorating. I haven't lost that skill.
Yep.
I can easily buy more brushes. I can buy my banding wheel and what I need. I can produce good stuff, and that's the wealth I've got. So I agree with you totally. It's not necessarily the building, it was the skills we have.
The skills you have, and Vanessa's probably got processes where
Totally.
she fires these things up. She
She
gets,
can read temperature
Very.
by the flame just amazing.
Yeah.
but have you ever written that down?
In the book. I
Or
wrote
recorded
that. No, I didn't record it.
Because
I
that's
just wrote
gold.
it.
That's gold. You know that, don't
She
you?
does keep a diary of every firing.
Yeah, totally.
And I use them, and I do
Referred.
record them in but it was all in there.
So one day when you're gone,
I should now do that.
someone's going to say, you know what, Vanessa wrote this book,
Yes.
and it was about every kiln firing she ever did.
Yeah.
That's valuable.
It was.
Sure
It
is.
would have been.
That's really valuable, but it's not too late. You can do it again.
Well, that's,
Yeah. Well, I'll start and do it.
Yeah,
I think
I'm
so.
a real
That's a
believer.
good suggestion.
Because that's heritage of this place. You know, you're building it. You're going to rebuild this place,
Yep.
and you want it to be valuable for the community, right?
yes.
One day, you know, hopefully it's a long way away, but you're not going to be here. Can you imagine if you just left the book there
Yeah.
with your signature, you know, your handwriting? That's valuable.
Yes.
That's who you are.
The other advice would probably be to be more methodical when you're going to leave. I mean, we did have an hour. We had an
Systems.
hour.
We didn't know how long we had
We-
really, but we thought maybe an hour.
Well, we didn't know
We
how
could have
long.
stayed another hour probably.
We left by about 7:38, and it came through at 9.
Wow.
They were, police and the fire brigade were ushering people out of their
Yes.
houses, knocking on doors saying go.
So, but we could have, in our fire plan, we could have had a list of things you tick off, and that would have been a big help. Because I wasn't methodical. I knew I had to get this, I had to get that, I had to do this.
But when
I
you're
didn't
panicking,
go from room to room.
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
You didn't have a process.
No,
No,
I had
no
no
process.
process.
And
I
an
gra-
agreed process.
I
Yeah,
grabbed a
agreed is a big point.
I grabbed
Yes.
a t-shirt and a couple of pairs of undies and a pair of shoes, and when I got over to our safe house, I'd picked up 2 different shoes. One was green and one was brown.
That's cool. You're an artist, so you know, you can get
No,
away.
they were different.
You can get away with
They were
that.
both left.
Well, you can't get away with that. You had an hour. You didn't have much time, but it's important to have an agreed plan. Like, in other words, a plan that everyone agrees on,
Yes.
and no one varies.
Yes.
So, do you think you should have done that, or would you do that for the future? What would you advise somebody else who's listening to
I
this?
think that is an excellent idea, and I will definitely do it.
Yeah.
And the fact that you've agreed on it beforehand makes life a lot easier.
What are the sort of things, Vanessa, you would have in the plan?
I would suggest going from room to room to see what is important in this room that you can put in your car and
Yeah.
take away.
Yeah.
Not hide or put anywhere else, but take away with you.
Yeah.
So you've got something that represents the history of your life.
Yeah. And it's important to agree the plan.
That's right.
You shouldn't have a plan, and he's got a different one.
No,
Because,
you should almost go over it every month or so and practice it
100%.
Yes.
and not forget it.
Like just every now and then, just like update and review it.
Yeah, and what you should have, that plan should be flexible in that the intensity of this fire is unheard of, and so a normal plan
Didn't work, wouldn't have worked.
wouldn't have worked as well.
Well, our plan was to put everything in the pottery, and because the fire was so hot, they assured that, as I said previously, we'd been assured the pottery would be safe, but this fire was too hot and too fast, and it wasn't safe.
So your plan's got to be flexible. You've got to
It's gotta
plan
be
for a
flexible, yes.
catastrophe.
Yeah, so you might as well plan for the worst
Yes,
outcome.
Yes.
that's my point.
Yeah, so
Plan
so
for the worst scenario.
plan for the worst, and if it's not as bad as that, good luck to you.
Good luck.
And where to from here, guys? So we've got to rebuild this, right? So you've got to rebuild this, your church,
We've been given a place to live rent-free for 12 months.
generosity, again.
Lovely.
And we've been offered a studio space to display paintings and whatever else we can make
Yep.
in the time we're rebuilding this.
And you got how you're going to become productive. So what are the?
We're just going to work on the back veranda to start with.
Yep.
Build a veranda around where the kiln was.
Yep.
'Cause
Maybe.
it's
Makeshift.
there, it
Yeah,
exists
makeshift.
there, and then we can produce things and build.
And it's a bit like going back to when you were 28, when you were 32.
Exactly.
I mean, it was dangerous then.
Yeah.
It's even.
This is more dangerous now. But what's amazing is it actually gives you a sense, gets your adrenaline going.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And like all of a sudden you know you're alive.
Yes, definitely.
Before you were probably cruising a little bit.
Yeah.
Now that cruise is good, but
Yeah.
and you didn't need all this shit. But at the same time,
It gives you a boost in
It gi-
confidence.
a total
actually.
boost.
Yeah,
Interesting because somebody asked us. She said, "Is it a bit of a release?"
yeah,
No, it's not a release. We want to be doing that. That's
Yeah.
our life. That's
Yeah,
who
yeah.
we are.
Yeah, people said-
we're not released from
people
it.
said,
We want
Retire.
to
Why
go.
don't you retire?
yeah. People say that to me all the time.
Yeah. Why
don't
I don't
you
want to
retire?
fucking retire. Like,
You know-
I'm happy doing what I'm doing,
I know.
and I want to continue doing it.